All the world marveled at this miracle and followed the beast in awe. They worshipped the dragon for giving the beast such power, and they worshipped the beast.
"Is there anyone as great as the beast?"
they exclaimed.
"Who is able to fight against him?"
Then the beast was allowed to speak great blasphemies against God, and he was given authority to do what he wanted for 42 months. And he spoke terrible words of blasphemy against God, slandering his name and all who live in heaven, who are his temple. And the beast was allowed to wage war against God's holy people and to overcome them. And he was given authority to rule over every tribe and people and language and nation. And all the people who belong to this world worship the beast. They are the ones whose names were not written in the book of life, which belongs to the Lamb who was killed before the world was made. Anyone who is willing to hear should listen and understand. The people who are destined for prison will be arrested and taken away. Those who are destined for death will be killed. But do not be dismayed, for here is your opportunity to have endurance and faith. Then I saw another beast come up out of the earth. He had 2 horns like those of a lamb, and he spoke with the voice of a dragon. He exercised all the authority of the first beast, and he required all the earth and those who belong to this world to worship the first beast, whose death wound had been healed. He did astounding miracles, such as making fire flash down to earth from heaven while everyone was watching. And with all the miracles he was allowed to perform on behalf of the first beast, he deceived all the people who belong to this world. He ordered the people of the world to make a great statue of the first beast, who was fatally wounded and then came back to life. He was permitted to give life to this statue so that it could speak. Then the statue commanded that anyone refusing to worship it must die. He required everyone, great and small, rich and poor, slave and free, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And no one could buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. Wisdom is needed to understand this. Let the one who has understanding solve the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Jesus told them, "Don't let anyone mislead you, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am the Messiah.'"
Agent Stone, allegedly at this moment there moves among us an agent of destruction so sinister that his actions will be the catalyst of a world war. His identity, unknown. But we do know this about him. He will be the most powerful dictator the world will ever know. But he will be a man of cunning and will rule with cruelty. His plan is to persecute, torture, and kill those who resist his authority. And he will lead the armies of the world to an ultimate battle of destruction. Most surprisingly, the world will welcome this leader. We may not know who this man is at this time, but we should be aware of his tactics. How can we do this? Apparently, there are prophetic clues hidden within the pages of the Bible that can shed some light on this man's identity. Dario, please review the information found in this brief and report back to us just what in the world is going on.
And in the year, was it 2004 or 2003, what did all of these member nations do? They put in, exchanged their marks, their Deutschmarks and their all the other currencies that were available, and they turned them in for, do you know what it was? Do you remember? Euros. They took all the dollars. Now, the European Union is effectively a United States of Europe. And they have a legislature, they have a parliament, they have a president. His actual title is the High Representative of, and then there's 3 or 4 other titles. And his name is Javier Solana. And he basically runs the European Economic Community, which now supersedes the individual national currencies and court systems of these member nations. What? In France, let's say, you commit a crime of some kind, and the France court system will sort of work, but there is now building more and more a higher court system that is higher than the French or the United Kingdom, or the Irish, or whatever it is, court system, and that is the system of the European Economic Community. They are also now in the throes of building an actual defense community as well, military. What you see happening that began in its inception in 1948 is now the European Union, which now is the 3rd largest gross national product on the planet. They are a formidable economic and now political entity, a multinational, supranational organization with one man running the show. Oh, and by the way, was Solana elected? He was appointed. So successful economically was the European Economic Community that other regions on the planet said, that is a great idea. So slide it back over a little bit. These yellow nations here, which are not a part of the European Union, as you can see my little map over there, they are gray. Do I have my... Yes, I do. This little gray... Come on. There he goes. This little guy right there. This part here is this part here. And the Central European Free Trade Agreement, CEFTA, was born not too long ago, and my notes are CEFTA, 1992, 8 members. Scoot it down just a little bit. Now over here, scoot it this way just a tad. This is called the Association of Southeast Asian Nation, or ASEAN. They're doing the same thing. Let's put all of our countries together and minimize the national differences and alliances economically at first. And their stated goal is to have a unified single currency by the year 2010. Because it's a pretty good system, because the European Union has been so successful. Not far, just across the Indian Ocean over here, here is South Asia Free Trade Association, CEFTA. And they're doing the same thing with these member nations here. Now, something interesting is happening. In 2004, where'd it go? Where's my notes here? Something is coming together, and it's called... I can't even read my own notes. That's terrible. The ACD, the Asian... Here it is, Cooperative Dialogue. Now, what's happening is here is the Southeast Asia that we were talking about. Here's India over here. Now guess who's jumping in and saying, hey, what are you guys doing over there? It looks like it's pretty successful. And along with Japan and China and some of these other nations across here, this is looking like this entire portion is going to be one solid economic community. A single currency has been talked about by the year 2015. Down a little bit more. That's what's happening around Asia and so on. Many of you are familiar with this. This is the African Union. It was a conglomeration of 2 AFTAs, free trade agreements. They have now coalesced into one. Now 53 nations are now what's called the African Union. Their capital is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. They have a president. They are working on a parliament. I even saw a flag and an emblem. They have stated they want their unified single currency to be in place by the year 2015. It's going to be called the Gold Mandela.